I am 20 male, Ashley 23 and Mia 25. My elder sister Mia has always been the golden child and my elder sister Ashley is the forgotten middle child. 2 years ago, Ashley's boyfriend cheated on her with Mia. This caused a rift in our family which left Ashley and me cutting ties with Mia. In these 2 years, most of the family forgave her and are in contact with her and have accepted their relationship. In contrast, I have still not forgiven her because she caused too much pain to Ashley and I don't condone infidelity as well. Yesterday, I got a call from Mia inviting me to her wedding next month, to which I said, I won't be coming, but I wish you the best. To which she got mad and asked the reason, so I reminded her that the person she's marrying is my sister's ex, whom you stole from her. She said that it was 2 years ago and I must forget about it and move forward. I didn't want any further conversation, so I just hung up. Later, my dad called me and told me that Mia called him crying and told him what happened. He told me to let go of things and I should be present on her important day because I am her only brother. So again, I hung up on him. Now, since yesterday, my phone has been blowing up from my parents and other family members because of it. Ashley said that she won't mind if I go, but I know she felt a sense of relief when I told her what had happened, and I think I'm the only one on Ashley's side. Growing up, I was treated a bit better than Ashley since I'm their only son, but not as close to Mia. She was everyone's princess. From what I know, Mia never reached out and apologized to Ashley. Also, she didn't even invite Ashley. Not the idiot. You can't be forced to go to an event if you don't want to. I said no. Sister should have thought about the consequences of her actions, and I do not support a marriage based on infidelity. If they continue, just say you didn't realize they wanted someone there to actually object midway through the vows. Then when they say you ruined the wedding, just respond with, quit living in the past. Not the idiot. Mia did a crappy thing and doubled down by marrying the guy she stole from her sister. Good on you for sticking to your guns. I'm sure Ashley appreciates it. Too often, the victims of bad behavior are asked to forgive, or my favorite chestnut of, be the bigger person. But unfortunately, they both translate into, shut up and take it so we can comfortably and easily ignore this conflict. You don't owe forgiveness. You don't even owe them a phone call. I'm sorry, but you cannot steal a guy. The guy wanted to cheat too. She hasn't stolen the guy, but she and he have hurt, deceived, and awfully disrespected the sister. You can fall in love with someone else, but you don't cheat. So, OP, if you haven't forgiven her yet, you shouldn't go. Disrespecting someone by cheating is awful. I would also have a hard time forgiving. Not the idiot. Why isn't it also an issue with your parents that Ashley wasn't invited? I get it, it's the ex and blah blah, but it's your sister who extends the invite, and if she decides not to go, then it's understandable since you're a pill and stole her boyfriend. Don't go. Your sister sounds awful, and tell your parents they have 3 children, not just 1. I agree that it's so strange. Ashley did nothing wrong, so why is she being estranged? And if Mia believes it's been long enough for bygones to be bygones, shouldn't she feel zero awkwardness in having her boyfriend's ex, aka her sister, at the wedding? I wouldn't marry someone that I can't have in the same room as my sister, when my sister has done nothing wrong to this person. I'm going to say no idiots here, but hear me out. I mean, she was an idiot, and so was her fiancé when they cheated together. But honestly, got to ask how you're going to handle it now that they will be married. Can't really avoid them forever unless you're going no contact or at least low contact with other family too. What they did in the past deserves consequences, but maybe don't hold a grudge forever. Either way, her wanting family to move forward is okay to ask, and it's okay to be upset when they don't. But you're in the right to not move forward now or be okay with going to the wedding. I, female 26, just bought a new car. A Hyundai a few weeks ago. Not so fancy, but I really needed a car for work to spare myself from walking for 45 minutes to and from work. My husband, 35, has a car, but he works long shifts and our work schedules overlap often. He was initially against me owning a car. By the way, I purchased it with my own money and I already have a driving license. His reasons were that I have a temper and might get involved in fatal accidents, and he'll now have to worry about where I am or whether I'm fine or not. He'd tell me that car maintenance is expensive or even tell me walking is good for my health. I wasn't convinced. He didn't have a valid reason for not wanting me to drive, but I still assured him I would be okay, and we have our phones to call each other whenever. He stopped bringing it up, but it's obvious he's still not convinced. 2 days ago, I started having issues with my iPhone. First, it wasn't charging, so I took it to the store to get it fixed. Then I by chance discovered that there was a GPS tracking app called Follow Me that I don't remember installing. I haven't even heard of it. I freaked out because I'm kind of ignorant about tech and this stuff scares me, so I had it uninstalled immediately and went home to tell my husband. He acted confused and asked if I was sure my co-workers didn't touch my phone, which got me thinking. I started thinking of who could do this until I heard my husband talking on the phone about how the tracking app his friend advised him about was detected and his plan got busted. I was dumbfounded. I confronted him while he was talking on the phone. I was mad at him and told him I never thought he'd invade my privacy and basically stalk me like that. What the heck? He defended himself by saying he was just worried about me and wanted to know my whereabouts to make sure I wasn't involved in, God forbid, some horrific accident of some sort. I called him disrespectful and controlling. He didn't even apologize and told me to give it a rest, and it was his right since I was so insistent on owning a car. Then at least he could get updates on my whereabouts every other hour. We had a huge fight over this, and I ended up crying because I kept thinking that he installed this app because he doesn't trust me, which is heartbreaking. He said he won't apologize, he has nothing to apologize for because he was simply worried about my well-being and nothing more. That I'm overreacting hugely and hurting him with my passive-aggressive behavior. This feels so wrong, and I'm trying to let it go, but I feel like I can't. I don't think he had to do that. I get that he's worried about me, but this is unacceptable. This is not really about trust. This is about control. He literally told you that it was his right to track you without your knowledge because you got a car. Why? Because he told you not to get the car and you didn't do as he told you. So it is his right to do something you don't want him to do. He needs to make it equal. Let that sink in and reevaluate your entire relationship because this man will punish you for having free will and crossing him, like he just did. Just to add, if anyone ever tells you, OP and others, that something is their right to do, ask them for law references. If there are no laws or anything like that for tracking your spouse, for getting X amount of intimacy in a marriage, forbidding you from having certain friends and other stupid things like controlling people feel entitled to, they literally don't have that right. On the other hand, you have the right to freedom and taking control of your own life. Don't fall for their crap just because they're narcissistic, controlling, and entitled idiots. Lots of red flags here. He tried to keep you from getting a car. He treated you like a child, money-wise. And now he put a tracking app on your phone behind your back? Nah, he goes to therapy to learn not to be a controlling idiot. My family member's ex did this. He also put a recording app to listen to her phone calls and an app to monitor her spending. He would smirk and repeat back things she'd said during therapy sessions. This kind of behavior doesn't get better, it gets worse. Your first taste of freedom and he crosses every boundary to control you. You should be worried. Go stay with someone else for a while. Figure out how you want to proceed. But if I were you, I'd be laying tracks to escape. He wasn't even sorry, and I bet he has other apps on your phone. My fiancé and I, 29 female, were planning our wedding and mailed out our invitations. When we got the RSVP from his sister, it said that 4 people would be attending. I was shocked to see this as I only expected 2. When I reached out to see who the extra 2 people were, she told me it would be her husband and their kids. I told her that the kids weren't invited and she seemed surprised. She said that because the invitation didn't specify no kids or a specific number of seats, she thought that the kids would be invited because we're family. I told her today it's just common courtesy that kids aren't invited to weddings. My fiancé is close with his niece and nephew, and I know he spent a lot of time with them when they were younger, but I just don't know them and I don't want kids at my wedding. I don't want it to feel like someone has to babysit them all night. The nephew is fine and rather social, but at every family event the teenage niece is just on her phone and is antisocial, and I don't want that energy at my wedding. Now his whole family is upset with me for not inviting the kids. His parents say they really aren't young kids and aren't that much younger than my youngest sister. She's 20. My fiancé and I have a 17-year age gap. My fiancé is telling me to invite them, saying they're well behaved and that at his last wedding the oldest was in preschool. She was so excited and really appreciated special events. We've compromised and said that the kids can come for the ceremony and stay for family pictures but are not allowed at the reception, but I'm secretly hoping that the kids will just decide not to come. It's my wedding, and I shouldn't have to invite anyone I don't want to. I don't understand why his family doesn't get that and why they're so upset with me. Am I the idiot? Common courtesy that kids aren't invited to weddings. LOL, what? It's not common courtesy, OP. That needs to be specified in the invitations that no kids are allowed. You are the idiot. It's your fiancé's wedding as well, and if he wants his niece and nephew there, they should be. Contrary to what you seem to believe, the wedding is not all about the bridezilla. Right? This bride is delusional for thinking it's common courtesy to just assume kids aren't invited. No. It's perfectly reasonable and happening more and more that people are having kid-free weddings, but that means they need to explicitly state this in the invitation. Also, who doesn't specify on the invite who's included or how many the invite covers? Wow! You are the idiot. You say you don't want anyone babysitting, but why does that apply to a teenager? We all know you're just making excuses. Your fiancé wants them invited. It's his wedding too. Why is what you want more important? You're alienating your future family before even marrying the guy. You're going to be joined for life. This is a terrible way to start. It's my wedding and I shouldn't have to invite anyone I don't want to. What about the poor guy who'll be standing next to you at the altar? Isn't it his wedding too? Doesn't he get a say in who to invite or not? And I'd calm down if I were you, but with your behaviour to his family, he can still change his mind, OP. Our blended family consists of 4 kids, 2 bio, Tommy almost adult and Sharon 18, and 2 younger stepkids, Austin and Josh. I can safely say all of the kids are on perfect terms and have a healthy relationship with each other. Despite that, my wife always tries to get all the kids to do everything together. She freaks out and overreacts a lot whenever the kids do things on their own. Each of them has a different personality than the other, thus different hobbies, interests. So trying to get the 4 kids to do all activities together isn't fitting. If Tommy wanted to play soccer, then the others have to join him. And if Austin wanted to draw, then everybody needs to bring their tools and draw with him. I've seen how the kids started to hate spending too much time doing each other's activities. I tell her she's ruining the natural bond the kids share and should take a step back and let the kids decide how and where to spend their time. She doesn't like that and says this behavior drives a wedge between kids, and she just wants them to have things in common. I've been planning a weekend family trip next week, road trip, and I sat with the family to make sure we're all on the same page. Austin raised his hand and said he wasn't interested in going, not a fan of outdoor activities, and would rather spend the weekend with his cousin to work on a project. Sharon said she wanted to have a girls' night in on Friday and didn't want to miss it. Josh and Tommy were excited to go on the trip. I said all right and asked my wife, but she said no chance. We either go together or nobody's going anywhere. We all stay home. The kids started complaining and I started arguing with her. I said it's okay if Sharon and Austin didn't go. No rule says all family members should go. She looked astonished and said the family should do everything together, especially things like trips, and that I should encourage the kids to go and use this chance to further bond with each other and make sweet memories together. She wondered what her family will say about this mess. I got upset and said she was coming off as controlling, inconsiderate, and her behaviour will get the kids to resent each other. I told her to stop trying to keep a nice image and think of the kids here. She said I'm setting the kids up to grow distant from each other, lose interest in maintaining a strong bond, and then rushed out. Sharon said she could cancel the event if my wife was upset. I said no, they all get to do whatever they choose to do on the weekend and not feel guilty. My sister-in-law said her sister has the right to want the whole family to go. It's expected, and I should have stood firm and supported her instead of showing the kids that her opinion gets steamrolled. She's asking me to reconsider my decision and get the kids to go on this trip, but I disagreed. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot. Your controlling wife will drive a wedge between the kids. They should not be forced to do activities they're not interested in. They will also start to resent your wife. Hey, that's a great bonding idea, all the kids coming together and talking and laughing about how much of a control freak she is. There's nothing that brings people together more than hating someone. So your opinion gets steamrolled. It seems your wife needs to compromise. On this trip they can stay home. The next trip can be a family affair. They aren't going to be sweet memories if they're on a trip they're not wanting to go on. I still remember my mother making my brother and me go with her on a drive to the mountains. Neither of us wanted to go, and all she did was get mad at us because we weren't having a good time on a trip we didn't want to go on. It's been 30 plus years, and I still remember that trip. Not really sweet memories. Not the idiot. This is ridiculous. Forcing kids together will absolutely breed resentment. There's also the issue of the age gap between the oldest and the youngest. No family does absolutely everything together. The kids definitely need their own interests. You can all make memories as a family naturally without forcing it. Organize weekly movie and game nights, etc. Your wife is deluded if she thinks her behavior is okay. Please don't cancel the trip. Take the kids who want to go, and you can all do something as a family when you get back. My dad and mom had a pretty dysfunctional marriage. It ended when my dad announced that he had fallen in love with another woman and filed for divorce. The divorce was ugly, but in the end they agreed to split custody. The woman my dad cheated on was a 19-year-old. To put it into perspective, my sister and I were young teens when this happened. Yeah, we were children back then and blamed her for it after a bit of nudging from our mother. We were awful to her, but she was a friend to us. She gave us space. She took care of us and she helped us with things when we did ask her for something. She was the one who handled all the school communication and meeting when I was bullied. She was the one my sister trusted to pick her up from a bad party she had snuck out to. She was the one who helped with applying for college and fought with my dad to get the information I need to get a scholarship. She caught on to the fact that she could do much better than our father and divorced him when I left for college. However, she still stayed in touch with us, and we formed a good bond. I think of her as an elder sister and a fellow victim of my father's behavior. I'm getting married and want to invite her. However, my mother is against it. I have a problematic relationship with my mother and I'm trying to mend it. I understand why she doesn't want to see her. She's the home wrecker and ruined their relationship. She thinks that I'm behaving like Dad and not taking into account the hurt I'm causing. I feel like I'm an idiot as I think her feelings are valid. I understand why she feels the way she does. I'm forcing her to mar a happy day by inviting my stepmom, or I could force her to skip it. It does sound like the thing my father used to do. Not the idiot. She was 19. Presumably your father was at least a decade older than her and more likely even older. I agree with you. She was probably a victim of your father as you were. But this will likely make things difficult for your mother, so you have to make a decision. It reads like stepmom was the only adult that actually had your back growing up and was a significant presence in your life despite how she came into it. So from this little snippet, I'd say keep her invited and just tell your mom to avoid her. But that's your decision you have to make. Nah, let's be clear, the only homewrecker is your father. You're valid for wanting ex-stepmom there, given your relationship. However, your mother is also right for not wanting to be around her, even though your father is the homewrecker. Your mother should move past it since it's your day, but you may have to make a choice if she refuses to come if your stepmom comes. OP's mom doesn't need to move past not wanting to be in the same room as the woman who chose to sleep with her husband behind her back. Her not wanting anything to do with her is entirely valid. You are the idiot. Look, I get you like her, but come on, she was the woman your dad cheated with. Was she still a legal adult when she knowingly slept with another woman's husband? I also don't know the relationship between you and your mom, and if she did bad stuff in the past and you're actually closer to this girl, go ahead and invite her. But if you're trying to rekindle a relationship, this ain't the way, homie.